starting. And there we go.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Don't excuse your behavior.
I was about to burp until I caught myself.
Bad, Tony. So you better doggy one. There. Just waiting on the stream. Just waiting on the link, and then we are gonna put it out on Twitter, and then we'll start. Cause, yeah.
So excited for all of you to hear my gunslinger. It's gonna be so good.
Oh.
He's gonna talk exactly like this the entire time.
There we go. Gotta get it going. And there. Oh, net pause. Mute. There we go. Kind of wish he hadn't disabled the chat.
Oh, god damn it. Freaking High School DxE.
There you go. There. Now that we've got this all set up. I mean, albeit without the chat.
There's reasons for that.
Yeah. So, sorry guys. Well, whoever's watching can't really tell without the chat. Anyway.
Why is that necessary?
It is. It is always necessary. So, Ree!
It's because you do so loud in my headphones. Oh god, why?
Hello, everybody. I'm Quillstroke, and I am here with the first D&D session. As my first time DMing, I'm gonna fucking suck.
All of us are. We're first. Well, all of us are new to DMing. So all of us gonna suck when it comes down to our first DM.
I've never even DM'd before, so.
I have. It was fun.
Alrighty. So, oh shit. I need ambient music. Oh, I forgot. Give me a second. Professionalism, folks, all the way.
100%
Professional.
Professor. Okay.
There we go.
There. Give me a second. I gotta do the music mix thing. Volume mixer.
Nothing but sure we'll redraw Sarah.
You should be doing what, Nash?
No, I'm just looking at the thumbnail. I'm like, well, okay, I actually need to redraw Sarah.
There we go.
Probably.
Well, I'm not really using him in any of the campaigns besides someone I'm in Thursdays, so there's that. And I totally forgot to draw his tail, so I was too fucking tired when I.
There we go. Alrighty, so this is the first session of the game. And there's a couple of things that we do need to that we do need to tell the audience there are some rules that we are going to be putting down ahead of time. And my brain just blanked. Son of a bitch! I am the key.
Please be respectful to other people and to the DMs and players.
Well, that's when we're finally able to enable the chat. Maybe that'll be the next session.
That's just a rule in general.
Yeah, but if as it comes with the players, if there's anything that you need, please feel free to DM me. If there is if say someone ends up getting a decent check on something, like say like a insight check or anything that involves private information, they will be getting a DM. That's when I will go mute, and I will then proceed to give that to them. Another, there will be no humans in this game. That's another thing that you guys will all find out as you go along. But other than that, I think we're ready to start for the most part. So, if the players are ready.
I am ready.
Pros.
Yeah,
Okay. Mish.
I'm ready.
Alright. Welcome to the land of Revelia. Well, continent, anyway. Down on the southeastern side of the continent, there's a small little peninsula called Drake Tooth Keep. We're going to be opening up on the small town of Fenster. It's a pretty cozy area, nice little farmlands off to the southwest, and a river running across on the east. Your typical area, your typical little town with people bustling around and all this other hubbub. You three walk into a rather nice-looking, cozy town, having met up on the way here. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Who wants to go first?
This is brilliant. I love all of your characters already.
Alright. Okay. Since no one's going, I volunteer as tribute.
I need a minute to find my character's accent.
Oh god. So far we have a Hisune name. His name is Melody Kazumi. She is a cleric. She's a life cleric, by the by. Wait, where is it? I literally just had it. Description. There. You know, like she's the average size height, 5'6", light brown eyes, brown hair, blah blah. She's wearing a red skirt along with a kimono top half with a white kimono top half with a shoulder cape, a small shoulder cape. Wearing sandals with socks.
And what's her name again?
Melody.
Say that again because you're cutting out.
Melody.
There we go. And who's next?
I'll go. So, my name is Grash. I haven't really done this before. Well, he's kind of he's 6'6". Shoot, he's 6'6".
pale, like really pale green skin. What little of it you can see because he's wearing a long rider's long leather rider's cloak over himself and a giant wide brim hat. I think a cowboy hat, but like wider. Um, and he's kind of like he has spurs on and big old leather boots that like the where they kind of cut off right about an inch or two below his knee. Um, he walks with a little bit of a limp, and
That's about it.
Prose, you're the last one.
One moment.
Don't let the pre-show jitters get to you now.
it's okay. You're here with friends.
Oh no! I think the prose is getting the butterflies.
Oh wait, totally forgot to mention my character's tan. Totally forgot to mention. Whoops.
What?
Melody is tan. I totally forgot to mention the color.
Oh, that's okay.
He's alright.
Boy. Back to typing smut.
I mean, we're currently waiting on prose here.
So that's why I'm like, typing smut.
I know. I'm sorry. I completely zoned out.
Stop zoning out.
Okay.
You got this, prose.
You can do it.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's alright.
Okay. I do apologize for how long that took. It just took a little while for me to find my voice for a moment. My name is Vimelina Starshore. I am a siren. I'm a siren rogue. It is lovely to meet all of you. Vimelina is she, like, in spite of the fact that there aren't any humans in the world at the moment, she looks kind of human. She looks very human. But she is a siren, like I said. She has long curly hair and kind of sun-kissed skin and freckles and hazel eyes, and she wears she looks like one of those big poofy Lolita dresses with the petticoats under them and shit.
You know how you wear a Lolita dress with a petticoat. That's how you wear Lolita dresses.
Yeah. But and aside from that, she she'll probably be carrying a rapier and no, she actually doesn't have that yet. Never mind. Yeah, she's just primarily carrying a rapier. That's the most notable thing on her would be her rapier at the current moment.
Alright. Well, as you're coming into town, one of the first buildings you're going to see is a rather fine-looking tavern called, I have to pull this up because I am just the pinnacle of professionalism, the Drunken Dragon. And you will then see another one that is a general store called Grim Feathers, a shop called the Mangled Magus, and a weapons shop called the Armor Class. amongst other various buildings and whatnot that run along Main Street, various clothing shops, that sort of thing. And at the end of the main street is City Hall. You see several people just going about their day, and buying and selling from the various stalls, and children, of course, playing their games and whatnot. You see a tabaxi kind of just leaning on the side of one of the buildings closest to you. He looks up and just gives you a doofy grin.
I imagine Vim would smile at the tabaxi and just give a slight curtsy to him.
Clem.
Melody just smile and wave at the tabaxi and say, "Hello there."
Clem.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Clem. He just kind of looks at you all and kind of points over to the clinic, and just goes, Clem, Clem, Clem. You then see a female. You can't tell if she's a dragonborn or a half dragon, but she's currently healing a scraped knee on a small boy. You can do whatever you want at the moment. Do you want to go to the tavern, speak to the cleric, or do whatever else?
I feel like Vim would go over and just kind of, and she's mostly just making sure that the little boy is going to be okay.
The little boy's sitting there and just giving, little boy sniffles. And the cleric is holding a glowing hand over him. You're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. It really hurt. So, what have we learned? Don't jump off the top of the roof. There we go. You're all done. His mother looks over and just goes, "Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you've no idea you have no idea. I thought he would have broken his neck. Oh, thank you so much. No trouble, ma'am. No trouble at all." The gold dragonborn, half dragon, whoever it is, looks over at you and just gives a kind smile and waves. You notice that there seems to be something attached to her left arm.
Oh.
Does anyone want to do a perception check?
I mean, Vim is probably Vim is closest, I'm assuming, so she would be the most likely to actually see it.
All right, roll a perception.
I will do that as soon as I fucking have her sheet open. God damn it.
I will also roll a perception. Perception is wisdom.
Because mainly what you're seeing is buried underneath her robes as well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Perception. I do not have very good perception, but that's okay.
It's not.
God damn it! I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
The wrong thing.
Okay.
Oh, wow! I got a 19.
I got a 15.
All right. What did you get, Mish?
I I got him at 19.
Okay. The DC wasn't that high. I'll wait for pros to get back. So till then, you two can talk amongst yourselves. You can even ask the dragon, the half dragon, dragonborn person.
Melody kind of just goes up to the life clerk and just, why was he, why was he just about to jump off of a roof? By any chance?
Oh, the kids here can get rather rambunctious sometimes. Dares and whatnot, you know. They just want to see who's the toughest. But, you know, and I see you're a cleric as well.
Yes, I am.
Not the same cleric as me, but...
I am a life cleric.
War cleric. Who do you follow?
I don't really have a god or goddess to follow, so...
It's weird. Normally, clerics often have a god or goddess that they follow. For example, she reaches in and you can see she reaches into her robes and you can once again see... hey, welcome back, pros. What did you get for your roll?
I was trying to put a freaking screenshot of it in the chat, but my phone's giving me a hard time. It was a nat 20 though.
Oh,
all right, yeah.
You could have just said a number.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to do that.
It makes me feel better to do it.
You see, probably a quarter of the way down her arm seems to be a manacle and chain, and it's hidden underneath her robes. And if you follow along where the chain is, it's up against it is. She's chained to the outside of the clinic.
Oh.
She just looks over at you all and just again looks and just kind of laughs. No, they, like I said, the children often like to dare themselves to do stupid, not so much stupid, but just foolish things in general. They often will turn around and they will just, like, oh, I dare you to do this dangerous thing, or I dare you to do that dangerous thing. It really has been like that for quite a while now. And
well, boys will be boys.
Yeah, boys will be boys.
It's really not that unusual. A lot of the children back home just do the same thing.
And the mother kind of goes, the mother of the boy, before she leaves, just pulls something out of her bag. It appears to be a loaf of bread and some cheese. Oh, thank you so much. The half dragon takes it and just goes, "Thank you. You're too kind." Oh, of course. I hope the mayor unchains you soon.
I was gonna ask about that, but I didn't want to bring it up if it was a sensitive subject.
Well, unfortunately, she just lowers it, and you can now see the whole manacle and along with the chain. The mayor here isn't exactly... Well, let's just say he's not a fan of those that aren't pure bloods. And when I first came to the village, I knew of this, and I unfortunately said a falsehood, and he figured it out rather quickly, and this is my punishment. Otherwise, I'd be taking care of what I had been sent here to do myself.
May I ask what it is you were sent here to take care of?
Well, I would, but sadly, I don't want to say it out loud where certain ears could hear. Let me think.
Wait, does anyone have a piece of parchment?
Actually, go to the mangled magus Gob owes me a favor for, healing him after his magical malady. Well, to the best of my abilities, there's only so much one can do after, after mixing alchemist fire in a fireball spell.
Oh, that was not a very smart decision at all.
There's a reason why his shop is called the Mangled Magus. But go to
Makes
Gob.
perfect sense.
Go to Gob and let him know that Amber's calling in her favor. A silence scroll should just ask him for a domed silence scroll, and let him know that I'll pay him back once I'm released.
I will happily do that for you.
Why don't you take your 2 friends with you? I would assume you 2 are friends. You 3, I mean. I'm sorry.
Friend. We only recently met, to be fair.
Honestly, yeah.
Well,
Honestly, like acquaintances.
I can go with that.
Wait, traveling companions would be the best word. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I can go with that. All right, well, just go over to the Mangled Magus, and you'll be able to, and just let Gob know that I'm calling in my favor.
Mango Magus, and
It's that one right over there.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm a little bad with names. Remind me what your name is again, ma'am. I'm terribly sorry.
My name's Amber. If you can't
Amber.
remember, just say the half dragon.
I think I can remember Amber. Thank you very much.
Her whiskers kind of curl up a little bit, and as she smiles, and waves, and again points over to where the Mangled Magus is, and tells you to, and just gives you a motion to to go on.
We'll be back shortly. Then we do her little curtsy again, and then start to turn to the shop. Walk to the shop.
As she does.
Melody waves goodbye as she follows.
Bye.
Grash will tip his hat and turn around and leave with the companions.
All right, so let me know when you guys are. I'll let you know. Let me know when you're close. When you okay. So you guys walk up to the shop, and open the door. Ding 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 ding. You don't see anybody there for a minute, and then all of a sudden, you see what looks like what looks like a pair of big green ears from behind the counter.
Hello.
Oh, hello. What do we got here? You got any shinies? I like shinies.
Shinies
I'm
are very
afraid
nice.
not. I'm afraid not. We don't have any shinies. I'm so sorry.
His face kind of falls. He manages to get finally back up on there, and you see that it's a little goblin. He has an eye patch over his left eye, and appears to what looks like a mechanical right arm.
At seeing the possible wound that this goblin suffered from mixing fire and fireball and alchemist fire, Grash would subtly rub the top part of the back of his left hand, as if he had a wound of some sort similar.
Well, if you're not here to sell, are you here to buy?
Well,
I really hope you're here to buy. I like the coins.
We'll discuss possibly buying in a little bit, but we are actually here to call in a favor on behalf of Amber.
Oh, you mean the half dragon that's over there?
That would be the one.
Oh, she helped me right, she did. Yeah, I can get you that. What does she want?
We need to discuss a private matter with her, so she would like us to She would like us to retrieve a silent scroll if you would have one of those.
Oh,
available.
you mean those? Oh, you mean the domed silent scrolls I made? Yes, of course, of course. Let me see. He hops down and he begins walking over to a little thing, a little ladder that he just kind of crawls up on. And again, he's this really tiny looking goblin that has like a nervous kind of energy to him. Like he's constantly kind of just he's constantly interlacing his fingers and just kind of. Have you ever seen a raccoon clean their hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing that.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see here. Silence. Sees. No. Sees. Oh, here we are. And he pulls out this little scroll, and then just kind of hops down and walks over to Vimelina and just holds it out. Hey, you are. Tell her that it's free of charge. I'm not even going to tell her it's free of charge. I don't want any of a coin. I would have died if she hadn't have saved me. So consider it a favor paid in kind.
I'm sure she'll very much appreciate that. Vim just kneels down and takes the scroll from him. And as I said before, after we've handled our business here, I'm sure we'll come back here and possibly discuss buying something else from you.
Of course. Oh, but if you find anything shiny, make sure you bring it to me. You'll bring me any kind of shinies you find, right?
We'll have to see about that. I like shiny things myself, sir. So I may end up hoarding some of that myself.
Well, I don't mind if you hoard a little for yourself. Just give me a little bit too, you know.
We'll see about that.
He gives you the biggest fang-tooth grin. Oh, you'd make me a happy goblin, you would.
She would pat him on the shoulder and then like stand back to her full height and wave goodbye as she starts walking back towards the door. It was absolutely lovely to meet you.
Nice meeting you two. Don't be a stranger now.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Before he
And
leaves,
starts
Thrash will
heading.
reach into his coat and pull out like a small little prism, like a piece of shard crystal. And he goes,
Is this the type of shinies you're looking for?
Oh, that is a beauty. Let me see here.
and leans down and hands it to him.
Oh. You don't mind if I take this, will you? I'll give you 2 silver pieces for it.
Don't even give me any money, thank you, and here you go.
Oh, no. Well, I insist. Yeah, 2 silver ain't nothing to me. He goes.
Okay.
He walks over to the counter and he pulls out 2 silver coins and he gives them to Grash.
Does he like put the prism into the light?
He's busy just staring and marveling at it.
If you shine it up to the light, it makes even a rainbow of colors.
Oh, I know what a prism does. I know. Oh, don't worry. I know what a prism does, sir. You go off with your friends. I'll be here.
All right. And then he turns around and after bids the goblin adieu, he leaves and joins up.
Grash, as you're leaving, all of a sudden you bump into a small feathered person.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah!
Is a feathered person like knocked down? Because Grash is kind of huge.
No, she managed to kind of bump she bumped and then kind of jumped back a little. Her feathers are puffed up though. It's a little kenku.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
After
alright,
making
dear?
sure that the kenku is okay, he like goodbye, and then he kind of just leaves.
Goodbye.
Oh.
She then just kind of picks up the bundle that she had and she kind of walks back. She kind of heads back over towards one of the stores.
Oh. Vem would be walking back over to where Amber is by now.
She'd be giving a potion to another woman. Here, just give him this along with some tea, and he should be fine. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so worried about him. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. That's what I was here for. As the woman leaves. Another case.
I hope her situation gets better, whatever it is.
Oh, it's that plague that was running around 3-4 decades ago.
Dear.
Years before I was born.
Oh.
Burning lungs, then death.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
Best to burn the body if they don't make it. Otherwise, there's a tree that comes and just spreads it. It's not pleasant. I know there's a name, but I haven't really been able to find it.
I would certainly hope to never have to see anyone experience that or worse experience it myself. Goodness. But to attempt to take our mind off of that unpleasant business, I did retrieve the scroll, as you can see.
Oh, did you meet Gob?
I did. He's delightful. He truly is.
He even likes shiny things, which I think that's give him a more charm to him.
Well, I'm not saying this to sound racist or anything like that. It's just a thing goblins like. They all like shiny things. I've met quite a few goblins in my day. Some of them seem to be decent folk, mainly the city-born ones, and they all have a proclivity for wanting shiny things. Gob is a little more odder than usual. He was gifted with what they call booyog. It's what they call magic, you see. But so you got the scroll?
I have it right here. She's holding it out.
She holds out her hand for it.
She kneel next to her and give it to her.
And so she does. She looks around. Can you all make perception checks for me as well?
1 second.
Who else making perception?
Everybody is.
Oh,
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, even Amber is.
Alrighty. Perception. That's cool.
Actually, yeah, no, I don't even need her to do it. She's got a high enough passive perception.
Can someone explain this shit to me?
What? How?
How?
2 nat 20s in a row.
I know. Perception
You know.
Stats too, so I'm just sitting here like, dude.
I gotta. I'm just gonna type mine in.
Okay. Grash, what did you get?
Modify 14.
Okay. Yeah, no, all but Grash. But since Prose has to be the luckiest son of a bitch in the goddamn group here, she got yeah, no, you look around, it's all clear. There doesn't seem to be anyone shady looking anyway.
Yeah.
So she opens the scroll and speaks a few words and moves her hand a little bit. And then all the sound from around you just seems to silence. There. We should be able to have some privacy right now. It also comes with a minor illusion. It would just look like we were just talking to anybody else who didn't realize it was an illusion.
Understandable.
All right. So I was originally here to help curtail this, whatever it was, whatever this is. My god, here, he's the god that I follow. He wanted me to come here not only to help ease the plague with the remedy that they had, with the cure that they knew, but also because the mayor here, Mayor Regan, he's, well, let's just say he's not exactly the kindest of people when it comes to those who aren't of, well, pure blood, if you catch my meaning. If they're not a pure orc or a pure dragon or elf or any other race like that, he tends to harbor an intense hate.
You were saying that that's the reason you ended up chained here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had hoped maybe if I had been able to get him to think I was a dragonborn, I would be left alone for the most part for my investigation. But unfortunately, he saw right through my lie.
Shame that. I am terribly, terribly sorry.
Yeah, I mean, another reason I was brought here was because this was one of the most. This area used to be a majority of the goddess Sterling's followers, and they've either been exiled or executed. And during one of my, and when I was in the temple during one of our, rituals, he came to me and made a request on her behalf to come here and investigate. I said I would. I'm the strongest war cleric the temple had. So he wanted me to bring justice as per his domains.
Ah, I see.
But, well, unfortunately, like I said, in my current predicament, sadly, I can't really do much. I'd be able to pay you all for your assistance if, once I had my items returned to me. Unfortunately, he has them all, and I don't really know if I'd be able to give you any gold or anything. Chances are he's probably added it to his own pocket.
This mayor is quite a greedy one.
Sun elves tend to be that way, yeah.
Oh, someone else, yeah. Put it like that, yeah.
I do have a bit of an affinity for stealing back what doesn't rightfully belong to somebody. That's a part of what I'm actually trying to do myself, but that's a whole other story for a whole nother day.
Well,
If
unfortunately, I'm also, I mean, I like the villagers here, so I'll be more than willing to stay, and I'll even help you guys get a place here too for a home base. A place for you all to just play your head. But right now, what I want you all to do is just go around and do what I was doing at first, and just talk to the shopkeepers, to the tavern owner, the various people from around the town, and see what their opinion is of the mayor. Along with if they have any kind of information, gossip, what have you, that might be of him, anything shady that he's done as of late, just typical investigation stuff.
I should be. Wait, I should. Well, I'm sure we can all very much help with that. Me in particular, let's just say I have been known to be quite persuasive.
Oh, I sure hope so.
Mhm.
Well, like I said, you can go around. Once all of my items have been returned to me, I'll do my best to give you anything in terms of payment. I promise.
Well, we will discuss that as soon as you're in a better position to do so. I promise.
If you
I,
if I may make a suggestion for you all,
yes.
if you want to find the best place for gossip, the Drunken Dragon over there tends to be the best place for it, especially at this hour. The men coming back from the fields often like to go in for a bit of a drink. The mayor hasn't been too kind to most of the farmers either. So
Oh.
I'm sure that they would be able to give you anything that they've got.
Oh. That 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 forgive me. I don't like hearing that farmers aren't being treated well. I don't have any. I don't have very quite personal ties to farmers myself. I just know how incredibly valuable they can be to any town or city or kingdom that benefits from what they do, and that just mm.
No. That
Or
go.
farmers have a lot more like
I'm
hard
sitting here
working
going
lives.
off on a tangent. I apologize.
No, it. How about you? I'm sorry. I can't remember your name again.
Which one?
She's talking to Mish's character.
Oh, Melody.
Her name is Melody, ma'am.
Melody, of course. And Grash, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Another good place to be another good place for any kind of information would be Grim Feathers. The owners, Dragonborn and Kenku. They get a bit of a rough go around because they're friends. You know, they grew up together, but they again, the mayor being the mayor and whatnot. I mean, don't get me wrong, he runs the town, but he runs the town as best he can. Something about him just seems a little off to me, especially when he demanded that the Temple to Sterling be dismantled and destroyed. She points over to where there would clearly have been a temple to a god or goddess at the time. Before it's all ruins now.
Oh.
I guess this was a lovely temple too.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was lovely.
The villagers around here told me that it was the pride and joy of the town.
Oh, that is a shame to lose something that precious.
Well, yeah, off you go. Off you go. The spell's going to be the spell should be ending soon.
Vim just stands up and kind of dusts off her dress and bows her head a little bit.
As you do that, you suddenly hear the sounds of the town come back. There's various talking and moving and stuff like that.
It's been an absolute delight speaking to you again, Amber.
Of course, and if you need any healing at all, just come over here. Melody,
Yes?
think about what kind of god you should follow. Just as a bit of a tip, clerics aren't really clerics without a god to follow.
I'll see my options.
Well, here in Draketooth Keep, they primarily hold to the dragon pantheon, and since it's mainly the pantheon that protects this area.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but I like to have options just in case.
Oh yes, of course, by all means. You all have fun now and be safe.
Thank you very much.
As
Vim
you
does her little little curtsy again, and she starts walking off.
As you
Melody gives a small bow. She just walks off. Come on, Grash. Let's go to the what was the feather the tail
A ruffled
Tavern.
feather, or
feather.
No, it was something with feathers.
yeah.
Fuck.
Grim feathers.
Grim feathers.
What was the
She said to go to the tavern first.
Yeah, Vim was probably heading toward the tavern anyhow.
No, I just want the name of the tavern just to be.
Oh.
Drunken Dragon.
No, not the Dragon. No, because you mentioned something else for like a tail, something for Melody and Grash to go to for more info.
Yeah, Grim feathers.
Grim
You said that.
feathers.
Oh, Grim feathers. Thank you.
I said that like
I
3
said
times.
that.
Like 3 times.
It cut Quill out. Okay, it literally cut her out. So it's like her mic cut out the worst timing.
Okay.
And just for you guys to be aware, no, Amber isn't racist. She's just pointing out traits that races have, like examples. Sun elves are in fact the hoity-toity, I'm better than everybody around me sort of people.
This is why moon
Yeah.
elves are better.
And goblins do like fucking shiny things.
True.
Oh, that's right, we do.
Grumbles and half sun elf. Anyway.
Well, she's not full sun elf, so she's not hoity-toity.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vim has started walking to the tavern.
Alright, and are you two following?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Okay. You guys go into the tavern and you all begin, you hear the usual hustle and bustle of the mid-afternoon lunch rush, and you look up and you look over at the bar and you just see a and you just kind of see this doughy looking, this very tall, 6.5, 7 foot tall creature, and she looks up over at you and goes, "Oh, hello. Take a seat. I'll get to you in a minute. I'm
Thank you.
I'm afraid I might be a little busy. Do you have any of you? Would any of you notice what kind of creature this is? You can roll nature checks if you want.
I have to say, like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
I can try.
Roll nature.
Let's do that.
I'm gonna roll nature check.
Let's go.
Okay.
Still working with a +1.
Rash is a
Nature.
modified 19.
Okay. Did you get another one? Did you get a fucking another one?
Hang on.
Okay, why can't I have these good much of a rolls in my other D&D campaign that I have on Thursdays? What the fuck?
Did you seriously get another nat 20?
I honestly did, and I am doing my best to get this screenshot in the chat because I am not making this shit up.
How? My God!
I would like to establish that pros will now be rolling for me from now on.
No.
Nope.
All right. Grash, I don't. Would you have seen a fearbog before?
Rash He's well traveled, so I would imagine, but he would be mostly in like border towns and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, all three of you have never really seen them, but you know what furbolgs are. And this one is definitely a firbolg, very light. She's pretty well built, and she looks like she could probably carry her weight. She points over to one of the empty booths and just goes, if you take a seat right there, I'll be sure to help you soon.
We're not in too much of a rush, man. Please do take your time.
Mm. And she looks over at a hooded figure and just goes, and what did you say your name was again, miss?
Oh, my nose.
Which character? Whom? Oh.
Pat.
I didn't. And I don't want to.
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry if I offended you, ma'am. I only want, please, I meant no offense whatsoever. What would you like what would you like again?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, well, you look so hungry. Why don't I get you something on the house?
Oh, no, more than fine. Please, don't. Just don't.
All right. And she goes over. She starts working on everyone else. She starts getting orders from everyone else, and in the order that they came in, you were probably the fourth or fifth group of people that came in. So it's going to be a minute. So you three can either sit at the booth or go talk to this mysterious person.
I think Vim is probably just going to sit at the booth and just kind of observe people for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melody also look like sitting down at the booth, observing and like looking around. Like, oh, this is a interesting tavern.
Vim's mostly just like observing all of the groups that are already in the tavern, just trying to like assess who to probably talk to and try and get information from first.
Same with Melody.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking at your guys' stuff real quick.
Oh yeah, no,
that's fine.
Okay, Vanlina, you start hearing. Oh, I can't believe he's raising the fucking taxes again. We make the food for him, but no, it's not good enough, is it? No, it's not. We're sitting here, we sit here and we do all the work, and he goes off and do his little mensch and just sits there and treats all of us like shit. And then when you sit there and you bring it up, boom, you're fucked in the dungeon. Honestly, I think it would have been better off if we still had our humans. Don't be saying that. You don't know who's listening, who knows him. Anybody here could be ears for him. They hear that you talking about the humans. Oh, they hear you talking about the humans, they're gonna take you off worse than the dungeon. Then you have the fact that it's even worse for people like you. You's a half-elf, aren't you? Yeah, I'm a half-wood elf, but at least I pass off as full blood. They turn around and they get the double. Even worse if he finds out that you're not full. See what he did to that half-dragon over there? Poor girl. She's lucky. She's lucky that our last cleric got chased off. Otherwise, he would have sat there and put her either in the dungeon or worse. I don't know. Something tells me he's like those, what you call 'em, that were running around a couple decades ago. Tried to start a war with the capital, over by the Sea of Glass. Where's that again? Oh, way up in the northwest, past the collective. Months before we ever saw it. All you gotta know is that it was real bad. Real bad.
Melody would probably be noticing a very worried and I guess sympathetic expression on Vim's face as she's hearing all of this.
And they keep talking for a little bit, talking about things like the crop and how their wives are doing and stuff like that. And
I feel like Vim would just be able to remember all of this inherently, but she would probably ask Melody to write down some of this stuff too, just so they have it.
Melody do have a bag of holding.
Melody would have had to have rolled an insight because she doesn't meet the DC for it. But yeah.
I can still roll in it.
Vim would be Vim would just be relaying all of this to her, but yeah.
Actually, can I roll in?
Huh?
Okay.
You can if you want, Grash. You can too.
Yeah.
Insight,
What do you? As you guys are doing that, Vimelina's hearing this, and once you do, just put your rolls in the chat for me, and I'll let you know, and I'll let you confirm.
All right.
So, quick question: Is Willow close enough to actually hear these two talking?
You can roll wait, no, it's not an insight. It'd be a perception check. Derp. You can roll a perception check if you want.
21.
Okay, yes, she could. With your enhanced hearing, you'd be able to hear it.
What's up with Melody? Because I got a mod 22.
Yeah, no, you hear it.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. Because this is time for an overreaction.
Oh goodness.
As they're
stand up in her chair, spin around, and go, "Oh yes, please, random people, let us all speak of the grand times of freaking elf Nazis. Blame the entire species for that one group's bloody mistakes."
The half elf that had been talking with the other group kind of gives Willow kind of a slightly offended look, like.
Does Melody ears just go like drooping, sound like
Hey, now we weren't sitting there saying it was all of them.
No, but please, let's worry about one particular elf. If he's so evil, why haven't you bloody revolted yet?
They all look at each other. The music cut out perfectly just at that point. I'm sorry. I was playing some music. Yeah.
Just a Melody ears, just fox ears just droops a bit. It's like all elves are not that evil.
We weren't saying. You see, one of them is actually a moon elf that's talking.
All elves are not that evil.
We weren't saying. We weren't saying that.
So what exactly are you saying? Hopping down from chair. Please.
Well, the last time anybody stood up to him, nobody's really. He would look over and go, "Timric, don't you worry none. There's nobody here that's going to turn around and say anything." She gives a real hard look at everybody in the tavern. are you now? You just collectively begin shaking their heads. Does the other patrons just kind of pale and then just kind of shake their heads?
Them just does that motion with her fingers, like.
All right then. So since no one's going to go around and spread whatever is talked in the tavern at the moment, so what's the bloody deal? Why is it that everyone's so afraid of Mr. Mayor?
Well, the last time, about maybe 5-10 years ago, we tried, but in this bloody plague hit.
So move.
We kind of can't. He taxes us too much for us to afford it.
Well, see, that's the funny thing about groups working together. You only have to pay gold for goods and services if you can't provide goods and services between each other. Now, if there's an agreement that the mayor and the taxes are too much, you all work together, get all the food you can, and then move. Get away from the prick, and then he can't tax you anymore.
Well, if we can't pay in gold, he takes what food we've got. And plus, those of us that like being here, the land's great, the soil's fresh, and the soil's fruitful and fertile. It's the best land we've got, and
Then pay your bloody taxes.
we
It's
have.
not a simple solution.
We
Either
have.
pay your taxes and be yourselves and deal with the problems, rise up, or go elsewhere.
The last time that we tried rising up, again, this plague hit, and any other dissidents that he found out about, it's almost like he's got. I can't even not so much spies, but I mean, there are plenty of people here that hate his guts. There have been a couple of attempts, but there's really nothing that we can do. I mean, if we could just collectively find some way of getting, we tried appealing to the gods, and they can't really help us, given they have their own plague to deal with. But no, we have been working on something. But again, Toomer kind of speaks up. I don't mind you all talking about the mayor, but I do not want talk of any kind of uprisings in here, mainly because it does cause trouble, and the last time I had my door kicked in. Really don't feel like having to fix it again, if you all know what I mean. Yes, Turmeric.
That's understandable, sir.
If you all want, there are other places to go. There's the old Thieves Guild. If the mayor hasn't buried that yet.
Thieves Guild, you say? Just Ben lights up a little bit. She's got a little smile on her face.
They were chased out of town about a year ago.
Shame.
They were chased out of town about a year ago. All that's left really is just their old HQ. I don't know where it is, but it should be somewhere around town.
I'm sure I could find it.
A squirrely looking. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the other races that aren't human.
What?
I said I'm trying to remember.
Races that aren't dragons.
That aren't human or Oh, wait. You then see a very familiar looking Kenku kind of walk up and go.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Squawk. Are you saying that you want to try to help them find this guild?
Is this the one that Grash bumped into?
Yes.
Grash will come up and is like,
Sorry for bumping into you just a few minutes ago. Can I buy you a drink as an apology?
Buy you a drink as an apology?
Aww.
Oh,
like a little
bloody
boomerang.
hell, that was built like a brick shit house.
Oh, bloody
Oh,
hell,
this
that
cake
one's
is
built like a
literally just
brick shit
parrot.
house.
Is this cake literally just a parrot?
I think so,
It-
yeah.
Honestly, she can't talk. She can only mimic what she hears. And anything that she talks, it's in trills, squawks, and...
Oh.
Aw.
Well, wait.
and
So Gresh buys like a drink from Miss Timrick of whatever Squawk wants.
Oh.
oh, I'll get your usual. Why don't you go and get Omric for me? You just see the little Kenku head bob and just and she scurries out.
It's the most precious little cake I've ever seen in my life.
So precious.
What is the bloody Kinku's name? Did anyone catch it?
Squawk, I believe.
Wow.
Her name's Squawk.
Her name is Squawk. Okay, fair enough. So, turmeric, was it, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know anywhere where I could get a job? Brief job.
Well, I mean, if you want, you can work here. The pay's not too bad. About maybe a copper silver every day.
See, I don't want to be around here quite that long. I'm looking for a job that I can make roughly 30 gold pieces from. Maybe a dungeon, a group of wily goblins with a bunch of magic items that need to be slaughtered in their sleep or something.
Oh, don't be saying that around Gob. He'd get real offended, he would.
Oh, we
I'm
just
sorry,
met God not very long ago. He's
Not
delightful.
necessarily gold, but I mean, if you need someone removed and you're willing to pay 30 gold, I don't particularly care what the job it is.
Well, I mean, if you want to help us get rid of the mayor, we all don't like him. I mean, I really don't want any trouble, so I just, mind my own business and do my own job. He doesn't really come in here very much. He's not much of a socializer, if you know what I mean.
He's not the man of the people.
Well, if it's of any comfort to anyone whatsoever, I think at least the three of us, them pointing to herself, Melody, and Grash, I think the three of us are more or less in agreement that if we are able in any way to help with this mayor situation, we will be absolutely happy to do so.
Oh.
If you've got the 30 gold, I'm more than happy to assist as well.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about what Amber first came here to do, yeah, she had all of her stuff confiscated. If you want to try to head to the mansion or something,
Yeah, she said about that her stuff was taken and we're trying to get it back.
well, then I don't see anything wrong with trying to help. I mean, I'm pretty good at making distractions.
That would be lovely.
Oh yeah, no, I can get it for you.
I don't think we'll have too much issue. I am something of a bit of a I would call myself a phantom thief myself, but any help with the distraction would certainly be welcome in this situation, I think.
Well, I think she just kind of looks over and sees the group that had been talking previously. Why don't you three start fighting and I'll run and get the guards and all of you go and try to find this guild hall. there ought to be some stuff there. And I mean, not even the mayor turned around and could turn around and find it. So, I mean, she leans down towards Vilena. Since you seem to be the rogue,
You can just call her Vim. It's
But-
fine. Vim is
she goes near Vim. Since you seem to be the rogue type, there was a rumor that there was an entrance near the temple before they tore it down.
near the temple. I see.
But if any of y'all want to turn around and try this, I'd say maybe better to wait till sunset. If you guys are looking for a room, it's a copper a day.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad at all, actually.
Well, I'm giving you all a discount because you all seem like such nice people.
Oh,
And you want to help us out of our predicament.
That is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, sir.
Ma'am, I know I wear really baggy clothes, but I am of the female
terribly
persuasion.
I am terribly sorry.
Don't worry, you are not the first person to call me sir, nor will you be the last. I am assured you there is no offense taken.
Okay, I'll remember the next time, ma'am. I apologize.
Good thing you kind of stopped me there. I almost about to say sir as well.
All right. So, if you all want to just put what you need up there, I'll me and the other people around here who've been doing a little bit of a minor resistance, if you know what I mean. We can probably think of a decent persuasion to get the guards away from the temple.
That would be lovely.
Be safe.
No worries. She walks over to a wood elf and just goes, "Hey, Finnegan, come with me." Right. Yeah. He's like this really twitchy looking mousy person. He gets up and he kind of just follows her. And because she's so tall, he just looks like a little itty bitty thing.
Melody just says to them to be safe, you guys.
You two be careful now.
Finnegan gives like a little nervous wave, and then there's just a lazy tail sweep from Turmeric as she ducks down, goes out of the, just kind of goes out, and then all of a sudden she vanishes. It's a furbulk ability.
Yeah. Just like Melody kind of just tilts her head to the side.
But you all have the next. It's about, let's say, 3 in the afternoon. You guys have the next couple hours to yourselves. You can get supplies or talk to the locals, or you can end up waiting there for Squawk to come back with Omric, or you can go to Grimfeathers and meet them there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Grimfeather, Grash and Melody.
Yeah. Will Vim be following, or?
Vim, would you like to accompany us?
Well, I was gonna say that we should probably look to see what rooms are available here and leave our things in one of the rooms before we go. But I suppose I can follow you now. That's fine.
Suddenly, a little tiny Firbolg kind of pops his head up. Oh, did Mama forget to tell you?
Did she forget to tell us what, dear?
The room? I'm Ochre, by the way.
Hello.
Hi.
Mama forgot, didn't she?
I
Oh,
believe so, dear.
Yes.
there's only one guest room. Would you be okay with sharing?
Mm,
Grash turns from pale green to immediately like a rosy purplish red.
oh.
Are you getting sick, sir?
No, no, just
Oh,
Clams up at that point.
I'm sorry. I Well, I mean, we often have to let people sleep off what they drink here. So, if you want to take one of the booths, they tend to double as beds too.
Mm.
that'll be mighty fine.
Okay.
Well, how about we do this? How about we all head over to Grimfeathers first, and then we'll sort that situation out when we come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ochre then looks over at not at you three, but at your new companion.
Mhm.
Hey, miss.
Oh, dear God, it's talking to me. Yes, how may I help you?
You're a druid, right?
That is absolutely none of your business.
His ears kind of droop and he looks kind of sad.
Don't worry about her, little one.
Oh, I just wanted to say I really like your robes, miss.
No.
And with that, I'm going to go outside. She will immediately go outside.
Vim looks a little grumpled that she was speaking to a child like that, but she's not going to say
Right.
anything.
Melody just pouts a little bit, like,
Hmm.
noted, but okay.
She really did not have to speak that way to a child. He was just trying to be polite.
Grash, seeing this, because one of the things that kind of really, if you ever want to get Grash mad and experience orc rage, is he pops his neck, and it's audibly that he's like, it's not like a pop trying to relieve pain. It's like a pop saying, "Hey, I'm a orc on a mission."
Oh dear.
The
Oh.
upside follows, because he does not like it when people are rude to kids.
Yeah,
Or
no.
kids anyway.
How old
Wait.
does this robot child look, by the way?
Yeah.
Probably around between 8 and 10.
Aw.
Ah, okay.
He's pretty tall, but yeah, no, for bald standards, he's about 8 or 10.
Alright.
Okay.
To him, it's like, don't worry about her. She did
Okay,
nothing wrong.
I know that.
Mhm.
Don't know why she's gotta be so mean.
I don't know either.
Some people just aren't very good with other people. I'm sure it was nothing personal towards you, dear. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, when you come back, Mama's making her special soup.
Ooh.
Oh, what kind of soup?
Oh, I don't know. All I know is it's really yummy. And
It'll be a
it's
surprise soup then.
Mom puts she puts she puts a lot of nice vegetables in it. And, you know, we don't eat meat. I'm sure she'd be able to make some with meat for you all, but we don't eat meat.
Sounds delightful.
Okay, have
Well,
fun.
we are gonna get going to Grimfeathers now, but I'm sure that soup will be wonderful when we get back.
Mm-hmm.
she would just pat him on the shoulder and then start heading out.
Melody waves goodbye as she follows up them.
Ochre would turn around and start working on getting something clean off the table, off the bar, knowing that he's got to run things while his mother's out and about.
Well, Mama's away.
And he just starts going, I'm cleaning the bar, 'cause I'm a good boy, and I love my mom, and she loves me.
I am dying.
My heart. Precious. Just protect this robot child. Protect this child.
Okay, so you guys are going to Grimfeathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys go into Grimfeathers and typical ching ching ching. Squawk kind of pokes her head out from behind a curtained part, a partitioned off part of the store. You know, if you look over, there's just various adventuring supplies. You know, rope, bags, bedrolls, that sort of thing. She then turns towards the partition. Right. Did you have to wake me up this early? They're trying this dumb shit again. Fine. Let me see if I got these damn supplies. Fucking hell.
Vim is just standing there kind of confused because she heard "wake me up this early" and she's like, "It's 3 in the afternoon."
just like Melody's ear, just like
It is
confused.
late
like,
afternoon, my guy.
Like Melody ears kind of like do the tilt, but also like the confused like dog ear, like one's down and one up. Sir, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, what have you been drinking, sir? That is morning in your case.
You see, I'd be able to tell you what I drank. Hold on, let me try that again. You see, I'd be able to tell you what I drank if I drank. As he comes out, you see a blue dragonborn. You know, he just he has a gruff look about him. You know, he's got the typical blue dragon horn on his nose. He's looking at you. Ulmric, I typically take care of the store at night. Squawk here takes care of it during the day. She said that you guys are going to be trying to overthrow the mayor. Again.
Well, technically speaking, this would be our first time attempting such, but by the sound of things, it seems like this is not the first time it's happened in this town in general.
4 times in the last 3 years.
And they do.
Who's trying to head it this time?
We are.
Y'all ain't getting help from Turmeric, are ya?
I just need to make money. I'm gonna look at your third person for a moment.
Kenku.
Kenku, thank you.
Squawk kind of looks over at Homework and back at you. You still haven't said what your name is, so.
Sorry. I just want to make sure you're in good health. I know how working with people that are talky gets.
Good health.
But
She
she'll
taps.
run a medicine check to make sure she's in good health.
She looks at you again and just goes, "Good health." And taps her chest as if to say as if it's a motion that says that she is very healthy for a Kenku.
Yay.
Are you being
I
fed
bet you
properly?
are.
Feeling well? No plumage loss?
Nod, shake to each of your questions.
Oh, he's a very healthy Kenku.
Willow, by the way, My name is Willow.
My
Have a nice
name,
beak.
my name is Willow.
Just precious bird.
Them just pats Squawk on the head. She can't help herself.
Yeah, Melody also just pets Squawk on the head.
She really likes the pets.
She might be a horrible person to most people, but to animals, she will be the nicest thing you've ever met. And technically, Squawk's a really big animal.
Technically speaking, Squawk is an animal.
Yes.
Squawk's a person. Omric just kind of looks at you all. She just
I
does.
said that out of character, first of all. Second of all, I said technically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most Kenku do learn how to talk. There's just those outliers that, try as they might, they can't really get it down, and the only thing they can do is mimic. Turmeric looks, not Turmeric, Squawk looks over at Omric and goes, only thing they can do is mimic.
Oh my goodness.
So, a quick question: what happened to the other groups that attempted to overthrow the mayor? Were they killed, imprisoned?
Yes.
They're in a dun- Oh.
Okay, the ones that were killed, were they killed in the streets in visible view, or were they executed?
Some were executed in public, and others were never seen again.
Right, dungeon.
During the executions, or anybody that died during the actual initial incursion, were any of them killed with, well, let's say a fireball being slung around, magecraft?
Only a couple. That was because their skins were too thick for the blade. And it wasn't a fireball or anything. Several mages came over and used shocking grasp. Electrocuted them.
Okay,
Oh,
so
hearing
major
that,
problem.
At hearing that, Grash gets really sullen. Like he's not there. He's reliving something.
Like Melody just goes over to Grash.
Actually, Grash, if that was going to be the case, I would have had you do a wisdom save.
Oh, okay. Then I'll do it right now.
No, do the wisdom save. Just for future reference, if I think that it's appropriate for you to have something like that happen to you, I'll let you know and I'll have you do the wisdom save.
Yeah.
Any notation of undead,
Oh, thank God.
skeletons, monsters, things like that as a military function?
No. Most of the time it's the guards kind of have this weird far off look. Most of the time, I mean, they do their job, but it's mostly those that have minor infractions, I guess you could say. Nobody here really wants to be a guard.
Is there anyone who sells particularly spellcrafting items, scrolls, that sort of thing? Have you tried remove curse or dispel magic on the guards specifically?
We tried once.
And what was the result?
Wasn't exactly pretty. The blood came out of their head and came out of their ears and nose, eyes, mouth, and then they just dropped.
So it killed them.
Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat fatality. Got it.
What's a Mortal Kombat?
So a deadly death. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so the concept of it is most likely some form of... Right, fair enough. Okay, so here's the thing. You might need to find someone who can make things that are protection. Things that would make, let's say, mind-altering effects less violent, shall we say?
He points over at the clinic. Well, the only person that I can think of, Zamber. She can't really do much with that band on her. The most she can do is healing spells at the moment. Anything stronger than that, and it gets tighter.
So the nature of the band itself, would it be considered magical?
I would
You're,
have to assume
I hate to tell you, but I think you're asking the wrong person. I'm just a,
I'm just applying from
I'm a fighter,
you-
I'm a fighter, not a wizard or a sorcerer. If you want to know anything about magic, go over and talk to Gob.
Mm. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. It's just the specifics on what you know.
I mean, if you,
Tactically, what we'd have to deal with.
well, I mean, there's only been one person that we know of to have survived it. And that's Clem.
All right, and Clem is
The village idiot.
Do you know
so less
where-
survived, more permanent side effects.
Do you know where Clement is by any chance?
If I know Clem, he's probably just wandering around, staring aimlessly.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't advise asking him about his time as a city guard. Not unless you want to fight on your hands. He gets rather violent if he starts remembering those things.
I see.
no. Yeah.
Well, your Kenku squawk here seems to be in relatively wonderful condition, so I will now shut the hell up and take a few steps back.
Squawk just looks over at Willow. And she goes over to one of the shelves and just kind of begins rooting through something, and then pulls out a small little staff and just kind of walks over and hands it to her.
What's the staff made of?
It's made out of wood.
Okay, we'll take it.
Wood.
Wood. It's a wooden staff.
It's a wooden staff with a little crystal gem on it at the top. Yeah, no, hold on. I saw it. It was yeah, no, you're fine.
I have been given a stick with a rock.
Oh, she gave you her old druid staff.
Oh, that was awfully kind of you, dear.
Aw.
Awfully kind of you.
Thank you.
Ah! She said that she said you're welcome. Just use it well. She doesn't really have much use for it anymore. Okay, there we go. Hello again, pros. But yeah, if you guys want any supplies, unlike Squawk here, I don't give things for free. Squawk looks up at him offended. Ah! Don't you give me that tone.
Squawk, darling, it's all right. We understand.
We understand.
It's got a business to run and all. Don't worry.
No, she gets it. She just oftentimes she's got a kind heart. You know how some people are.
No, I do. I certainly do.
And while I'm all for kindness and everything, I just, again, we've got a business to run. We've got taxes to Mayor Douchebag.
Right.
Well, if we have our way, that won't be an issue much longer.
Now, well, hopefully you'll be able to find out what's been going on here. A lot of really weird things. But maybe, hopefully, you guys will find something.
I certainly hope so.
Now, if you guys need,
What all do you have in this store here exactly? She's starting to look around now.
your basic adventuring stuff. We got rope, potions in the back. They're not the best, but we got potions, and those are from Squawk. She's pretty good with alchemy. Whenever we get the supplies, we make stronger healing potions. But right now we're waiting on another shipment. So at the moment, all we really got are just your standard healing potions.
At hearing alchemy, Grash kneels down in front of Squawk and then asks,
Do you have any saltpeter?
Saltpeter? She shakes her head.
And he kind of just looks down a little sad because he needs some stuff to make his special things.
No.
Yeah, sorry. Like I said, the saltpeter is going to be coming in on the next shipment, unfortunately. What do you need it for?
At hearing that, he kind of he's unsure of what to do because he doesn't know if they're up to date with what he has or not. So he's kind of scared.
Are you looking at Omric?
Well, this is out of character. He's for sure of but he is turning from Squawk to Omric. But people will start to notice that he does have a bulge at his hip, and then they notice he has a bulge on his back, but it's longer, so it looks like a sheath for a sword, but there's no sword in it.
Omric looks over and just tilts his head. Oh, if you're needing gunpowder, all you gotta do is ask.
And he's relieved. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
No.
I got some.
You could have just asked, Data.
I'm unsure because where I come from, it was a rare find.
No, most cities in the continent, most cities and towns on the continent tend to have gunpowder for sale. There's a lot of gunslingers around here.
All right. Then he goes, I would need a horn full.
That'll be 5 gold.
all right, and he pays.
Okay.
And he'll look. Yeah. He does.
Yeah, take that out of what you got.
Mm.
We aren't looking through her shit, okay?
No.
And it's not called bird guano. Guano is bat poop.
We're not gonna ask Squawk for shit.
And Squawk is technically considered humanoid. Give me a second. Ow, 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 ow.
Careful.
No, I had my leg bent for too long.
Oh, yeah, now I'm feeling finally getting back to you.
No, I had my leg bent for too long and I'm trying to
Oh.
move.
Yeah, just the same, it fell asleep.
Yeah, no, it didn't fall. It's not so much that it fell asleep. It's just, again, it was my thigh muscles. Anyway,
Oh.
so yeah, they give him, he takes your gold and he produces a medium-sized horn. Here. Don't worry, I got mine. I got plenty for me.
He nods and he replaces the horn, and now he has his empty horn that he was carrying with him, then plus the new horn of gunpowder.
I'll give you 2 silver for that empty one.
And he kind of looks at it and is weighing the options because it's the horn that he picked up from it's the horn from his backstory. So he's like,
I don't need it. Thank you.
No, wait, is he saying that he is going to sell it?
Yeah.
Okay. No, he... he just... He gives you 2 silver. So just add two silver to you.
Yes.
Is that all for you, or whatnot?
All right, so for me,
He looks over at Vimelina. What about you?
I don't think I see anything in here I particularly need, although I suppose it would be a good idea to have some extra rope on me.
Hold on a minute. I actually gotta check and see the price.
Okay.
It's times like this I should probably have the player's handbook up and ready. Give me a minute.
She just kind of think that the potions would be helpful.
I have cure wounds just in case you guys get injured.
True.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of gonna have to put my foot down pretty quick here. Without a god to worship, you really don't have any abilities as a cleric. No spells or anything like that.
3.
Yeah, you're level 3, but without a god, you don't have any real spells. Clerics get their magic and their spells from their gods.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
no god, no magic.
Got it.
That's why when Amber heard you were a cleric and you didn't have a god, she kind of was like, the fuck?
Really.
Concerned.
It was like,
Very concerned.
I'm just a touch concerned. Yeah.
Quite literally not how clerics work at all, but okay.
Then Melody will probably find a really good god. She don't know which god she wants to follow. There's a lot of god and goddesses.
There are.
Let me see. I'm still trying to find. Here we go. 3. Sorry, I'm looking on D&D Beyond and I cannot find it. All right. Okay, now I got it. Ormuk looks over and just goes, I've got 3 different types of hempen rope. For a copper, you can get 10 feet, silver is 25, and a gold piece is 50.
I don't mind parting with a gold piece for you.
All right, the 50 ones are. He points to the shelf where the rope is, and you see pretty much the largest ones are the ones that are the 50 feet. Go help yourself. If you take more than one and try to run, I will shoot you.
I think the 50 will be more than enough. Thank you kindly. She just puts a gold piece in his hand.
Takes
and
it.
Goes over to grab the rope.
And
we actually would. It actually would do us some good to have some potions on us as well.
Yeah,
though.
I was gonna ask, how much is the potions?
Potions are 5 silver apiece.
5 silver apiece.
Oh no, trust me. That's me pricing them down. I just need to get rid of them.
Oh, okay.
Typically, they go for about 25 apiece, 25 gold.
Oh.
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 For 5 gold pieces, I can give you. He runs the math through his head. Sorry, I'm blanking out. Give me a minute.
You're fine, you're fine.
No worries. It's been a long day for all of us.
Yeah, I know. I'm like I said. I'm not normally awake at this time. So just give me a minute.
Sorry, we woke you up from your slumber.
It wasn't you guys that woke me up. He looks over at Squawk, who just gives him an incorrigible look. Oh, duh. Oh, go perch on a tree. Ah!
No.
He turns around. He just let me think here. 5 silver for 1. 5. 10. I'll part with 10 for 5 gold pieces.
Okay. She gives him the 5 gold pieces. 5 gold. Here you go.
And he walks into the back and then comes out a little bit later, after a little bit, and places down 10 standard healing potions.
Put them in a bag of holdings. Thank you for your business.
He looks over at Willow. What about you?
The silence coming from her right now.
Oh.
Are you done eternally screaming?
Well, oh dear, if it would make you feel any better, you are more than welcome to wait outside if you don't need anything from the store.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly goes outside.
There you go.
Since I'm done, I'll wait. I'll go with her.
Okay.
Melody just goes outside and joins Willow.
That would.
What kind of phobia is that?
This isn't.
Jeez.
I need a freaking dictionary.
Phobia.
A
Being
fear of
touched.
being
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Who touched her?
About to say, no one
Jesus.
touched her. No one touched her.
Well, it would seem that I do not need anything else, so I will be taking my leave as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, why don't you all do me a favor?
Yes.
He'd walk over. He goes over to, Vamelina. He goes over to you 3. Be careful.
Tell me, those people that got executed or whatever, what happened to their families, their kids?
Never seen again.
At
Don't know if they got chased off. More than likely they did. I mean, the mayor's a dick, but I don't think he's a monster.
I certainly hope not. Well, either way, being careful was the plan.
That whole thing probably took about maybe an hour, 2 hours.
Probably.
Yeah, it's going on 11.
So it's probably going on, Gresh, throw yourself another wisdom save.
Yeah, that's his re button. Oh no! Roll a 5.
Oh dear.
Only because I don't need to have a half-orc going and rampaging everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that you're fine. You are screaming internally.
We do not need a raging orc in a china shop at the
We don't need a raging half-orc at the moment.
Yeah. He has resigned himself that he's going to deal answer justice, as in putting a hole through the mirror. That's what Grash's plan is now.
Uh,
Well, as it stands, I'm sure that we or possibly Squawk will update you on how things how things progress in the future. We will hopefully be talking to you again quite soon.
yeah, no, don't worry. Squawk here tends to be able to get her way around. No, she used to be a druid and a rogue, so she's been keeping the rogue part on the DL.
Do you need to find out where the people are, Vilma?
Well, fuck, I forgot your name. Shit.
Vim is fine.
Them.
Yeah, Miss Vim, do you need to find out about that?
What?
Oh, yes. I was the old thieves guild, I believe. Um, um, I, um, I remember. She was told to look for an entrance at the temple, where the temple used to be, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I remember that. I suppose that is more than likely what we should be doing next. Then, again. It's wonderful to meet. It was wonderful to meet you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Just, be careful near those ruins.
Oh.
Got a bad feeling about them. That's all.
Oh, well, understandable. We'll be careful, I promise.
Uh,
Grash, I do believe it's about time to leave, shall we?
Mm.
just,
Grash nod.
Well, it's one special round in the chamber for Mr. Mayor. I
sure
will
Grash
take
is-
that.
Sorry.
I will take that as a yes. Goodbye now. Vim starts leaving.
Later.
Grash follows. It's like, I'm sure if you would let him, Grash's friend from the other side might be telling him, kill them all.
Oh dear.
Not yet. You're still just a fighter for the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Stretch.
Oh.
Um,
Ah.
when Vim steps out, she looks to make sure Willow and Melody are both okay.
Oh, we're doing fine.
They're alright. But yeah, it's, if you guys look up, the sun's kind of starting to sink a little lower in the sky, and... Alright, is anyone looking over at the ruins at the moment?
Grash is.
I think Vim probably would be because
Yeah.
that's where she was told to be looking next.
Yeah.
When Amber had pointed them out before, you had noticed that there were a few guards kind of like just walking around it. There's nothing there right now. It seems like Turmeric and Finnegan made that distraction that you guys needed. If you guys want, you should probably go.
Mhm.
Yeah, the second she sees that there aren't any guards over there, Vim is already walking over there and starting to look around.
Yep.
All right. I need you. So you all four of you, or did all four of you go?
3. Not
Three.
4.
4. You're. Come on, Willow.
Willow
you're
is
over
still
there.
staring at the stick.
No. Oh my god. Willow, darling, you alright?
Um.
and then slowly starts to lag behind.
Okay.
All right.
At least she's moving.
Oh, she's yeah.
Once you're all there, I'm gonna need you all to give me investigation checks.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Investigation.
Excuse me.
Ah.
Modify.
Also modified.
Hold on.
24.
Hold on a second.
I invest
Hold on a second.
investigating.
We're looking around the.
Hold
ruins of what
on
used to be
a
temple.
second.
What?
Give me just a second,
Okay.
because I'm loading up a page and you guys are cutting out. So
That's all right.
Yeah, but just in general, like we're trying to search around the ruins of a temple, and there's supposed to be an entrance to what used to be the Thieves Guild's HQ somewhere in this area. So that's what we're doing.
I'm just gonna hang back.
That's
If you
fine.
find it, you find it. But I'm gonna just hang back away from potential death.
Potential death is Grash's middle name.
And that's why
Shit,
we
you're
keep
right.
the distance. At least probably about 10 feet away.
I mean, say potential death is even get killed at one point, but she's okay.
Okay, give me just a minute. While I'm doing this, you all just do your investigation rolls and put them in the chat.
All right. All right.
Okay,
We
okay.
already did, but I'm just gonna put my.
Fuck. Fuck.
Okay. Wow, the rogue doesn't see it.
That actually makes me very sad.
Melody, you see what looks like a trap door under some rubble.
Mish did have to step away for a minute, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just going to imagine that she called to the rest of us.
Well, why don't we wait till she gets back?
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Till then, talk about your characters. Or they can just listen to the music for a little bit.
Willow is going to walk tentatively over to Gush
Yeah.
Grad.
and hand him the stick.
It's a druid staff.
Yeah, he's
Can
not
you
a druid.
take this, please? Please take this.
It's made out of wood.
Okay.
There. Perfect. Step back to 10 feet.
Grash is very confused.
Honestly, Vim is too. But
Honestly, the DM is
alright.
too, because I just gave you a freaking staff of a
Staff of
I gave you a wooden staff as a spellcasting focus, but okay. Actually, no, wait. It would have been a staff of bird calls.
Staff of bird calls.
Excuse me.
Actually, I don't know. It just probably sort of been a regular wooden staff. You know? Something that isn't made of metal.
So Gresh now has a very nice walking cane.
Yeah. I guess. Well, I guess it teaches me a thing or two. Don't give Willow nice things.
Don't fucking hand me things.
You want me to fuck with you? I'll fuck with you, Willow.
Don't hand me things.
Like it's not your fault that somebody had to choose to play a difficult character. It's not your fault.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A difficult
It is
character that
absolutely
wasn't
not your
physically...
fault.
A difficult character that wasn't physically touched when they were given the staff.
Was someone else touching the staff when they handed me the staff?
What does that matter?
Don't
It
hand me
doesn't
things!
matter!
There wasn't skin-to-skin contact.
That phobia
Stick
only
to skin
affects...
to skin
whatever.
contact.
Alright, now you're just splitting hairs.
You really
Don't
are.
hand me shit.
Wait, just because I want to try this, is there a squirrel skittering around? Because Grash is going to attempt to hand the stick to the squirrel and have the squirrel, an animal, hand it to Willow.
To
Well-
be fair, you really could just set the stick down and then tell it to go pick it up.
So, in a very
I'm actually going to
awkward
roll a
and
D100
weird
to
way,
see if there's.
Grash sticks the stick into
I'm
the
actually
ground.
going to straight up roll a D100 to see if there's a squirrel anywhere.
Yes, do so.
Okay, there's no squirrel. I only got a 4.
Yeah, no. There's a chipmunk, but no.
Chipmunk works.
So Grash just takes a stick and he just lets go of it, falls to the ground. Is like, "Oops, I dropped it." He steps 10 feet away. He's like, "Willow, can you get that for me, please?"
Immediately walks over and picks it up and says, "He understands me! Fuck!"
Devin's just kind of sitting there and just watching this happen.
So from
Okay,
now
then.
on, we want to give Willow things, just give it to Grash, and Grash will.
Also, as a note, don't. Also, as a note, probably don't have. Probably, if anyone's hanging off of a cliff and Willow's nearby, probably don't look at her to go get help.
That's why she carries rope.
That.
It
Mm,
it does help that Vim also did just buy like 50 feet of extra rope.
Excuse me.
Just part of the gear. 50 feet of hemp rope. She will tie in small loops if you're hanging off a cliff, and tie it to your wrist without touching you, and then tie that rope to a tree and be like, "You can do it, full faith."
steam coming from my ears because while their wrists are in a rope, they are touching the rope.
At the same time, you're touching it.
Oh, that's why it's an effort in. Here's the loop, just put that around your wrist. I'm going to tie this to a tree, and now I'm going to go wash my hands.
Oh my god.
No, it's germophobia, but okay.
This is out of character, but there's hoity-toity sun elves, and then there's Willow.
She's not even full sun elf. She's only half.
It's not that I think you're going to infect me with something, it's I think I'm going to somehow accidentally murder you.
Wait, what?
Oh yes, no, that's absolutely the case. I am genuinely afraid I am somehow going to just make you die by just sheer physical contact.
There's a
I'm not
story
even
here, but I
going
don't think we
to.
have time for it.
I choose not to ask about the logic behind that statement.
Well, see, it was kind of an odd situation. When I was very, very young, I was out in the woods like I always am, and I had fallen into the water. At the time, I could not swim, so here came this very charming young woodcutter who jumped in and he touched me. I freaked out, cast hold person, and he proceeded to drown.
From far
This
off away
is-
that you suddenly hear Amber shouting, "That seems like something you're going to have to work on!
Oh my goodness.
Exposure therapy is a thing!"
I'm pretty sure you're tied to a building and I shouldn't take life advice from you.
Only 'cause you know who's a dick!
Maybe it's because you're a racist.
Oh my
Prove
goodness.
it!
To
You
be fair,
said
if any-
something all hoity-toity.
To be fair, it seems like if anybody should be referred to as a racist, it would be the mayor who seems to have a problem with half-bloods for some unholy reason.
I dated elves!
Was it a sun elf?
One of them was!
So why you have such a low opinion of someone you dated?
He was a dick!
Then you shouldn't have been dating him, you wank.
To be fair, his parents were too!
Well, okay, so you had a bad experience with one family of sun elves.
Actually, it was kind of an entire community.
Well then, burn them down and cleanse the clan.
That's not how I go!
Well, it sounds like you don't know how to correctly handle a situation.
Burning that village down would have killed innocents. I don't do that.
Evacuate the innocents first. We have problems and solutions.
You're a very unlikable person.
I have been told that, yes.
Vim is keeping her mouth fucking shut.
Are you sure that you are going to be able to hang out with these people?
I like the tall one.
Brash bless you.
Mm.
I'd like to point out that I have done nothing to you up until this point.
Me neither.
Well, that's why I'm on the fence about you two.
Fair enough. Melody found a trapdoor, by the way.
Okay. Yay!
Yeah.
My
While you go,
girl is helping.
are you gonna call the others? Because only you found it. No one else did.
I literally just got back eating delicious bowl of macaroni salad. So
Ooh.
So, is it safe to assume that Melody just called the other two over?
yes.
Okay.
Other three.
Saying other two because someone is being
Yes.
difficult.
I am right next to you. Did you check the door for traps?
I am actually about to do that right now.
Alright, roll me an investigation.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, be right back because I want to go clean the kitchen and all that jazz.
Mod 18.
Okay.
No, there are no traps.
It would seem that despite its name, this trapdoor does not have any traps.
So
It is, however, locked.
Is
It
it?
is-
It is locked though.
I don't have any
Um,
lock.
I do have
Leave
thieves'
that.
tools on me. I may be able to open it myself.
No,
Melody kind of just like step aside so them can get to it.
let me check something.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry. Sorry I was gone for a while.
Oh no, we
That's
understand
okay.
ourselves. I am no longer concerned with the stick.
What did you do with the stick, by the way?
See, the thing of it is, don't hand me things.
Mm-hmm.
I, I, I don't like it when someone's touching something and then I have to touch the thing that they're touching because they're still touching it.
Oh,
We found a
so
way around it, though.
okay.
He's very smart.
Huh.
So, just as an example, if you want to give some, for example, put a tell her to go get it, and she will do such.
Understandable. I can see what
As
you got.
long as
As long as you are not still touching it as you ask her to do so.
I wouldn't want to,
Understandable.
like, accidentally, brutally murder.
Oh no, I don't want that.
Don't ask.
I don't either.
I'm not.
It was
Yes.
one time.
It is a very odd story, I will say that.
I still say you have to work through it.
I am working on it.
Slowly
Why don't you
progress.
get uncollared from a building?
That's what I'm paying. You then kind of hear a mental note for you. Then she doesn't respond verbally, but suddenly Willow would hear in her head, "That's what I'm paying you all for."
Holy
And
shit!
mentally, in return, well,
You can, Amber
don't
can.
try to screw me out of this, or the collar will be the least of your worries.
What if astral projection Amber touched the inside of Willow's mind?
I swear to
Oh,
God, do
God.
not even put that thought in my mind.
No, she just used she used telepathy. She has that as a feat.
Ye.
Does
Ugh.
going back? Oh well, even Melody have telepathy as have that as.
You know, it's
I
slightly
have a
dirty.
character with telepathy, but it's not this one.
You know, it's a little odd to think of the concept of her magic lips touched my mind cave.
I don't like the phrasing of
Me
that sentence very much.
neither. Val, how's the dice going? How's the lockpicking going?
That would be your proficiency bonus, plus a d20 roll.
Okay, I gotta go back to my character sheet to remember what my proficiency bonus is. I don't know if I even. Oh, okay, yeah, it's +2. Not the D100, you idiot. 320, not D20. Jesus Christ.
Superstar.
That is a modified 20, not a natural 20.
Okay.
Still good.
We call that in the game a dirty 20.
Nope. It opens.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Them would open the door and probably start going into the trapdoor.
Be careful for traps along the pathway.
I am looking as I go.
Why are you
Okay,
telling a
fair
rogue to
enough.
do Why are you telling a rogue to do her job?
Please.
I've seen many a rogue die to a trap because they get cocky and decide, oh, I unlocked the door, let's test this chest. Open it up, acid in the face,
If you
fall
don't
down.
go inside the trapdoor, I'm going to push you in.
I'm waiting for you to go. You're larger than me, you're bigger meat shield. No offense.
Melody
None
kind of just like,
taken.
I'm gonna just follow them. Cause yeah, no.
So I go in after Melody.
And Willow will follow Crash.
Okay.
Vim, roll me another investigation check.
Sure.
Investigation.
That was the reset button. I did not mean to press that.
Whoops.
Jeez. Okay, +2. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, that's another 18. That's an 18.
Okay. You see what looks like a log trap hanging from the roof with a tripwire right in front of you.
She steps back a little and holds out her arm to stop Melody and
Huh?
the others from walking any further.
Huh? What is it?
There's a trap right here. I just noticed the tripwire before I could step on it.
Somebody pick up that glyph, because I fucking called it!
Not Willow, not
I
Mel.
didn't set off the trap now, did I, ma'am? No, I did
No, you
not.
didn't, but I feel I've done a minor amount of assistance by being sure you're looking.
Willow, can we not?
I would like to not argue as we are going through, as we are making our way through here. Allow me to disable the trap real quickly before we before we continue forward.
Oh, of course.
On the back. Does that count?
Why? Why, Grash? Why?
It's a mental pat in the back.
He's
not
an
really
innocent guy,
physically
so he doesn't.
touching you, though.
I would not appreciate that, no.
It could technically not be a physical hand touching
like,
you. It's magic.
Magic touching and regular touching without consent is still bad.
Wait, hold up. Back up. Wait a minute. Grash, did you say that you cast magic?
No.
No,
No,
nobody's
no,
actually casting magic.
No,
We're,
he's
we're, we're giving Willow a hypothetical scenario if somebody used Mage Hand to touch her.
yeah, because he was just like, if I was a wizard, I will cast a mage hand and give you that.
Willow, roll me another investigation check.
You mean Vim?
No, you.
Uh-oh.
I'm working on disabling the trap right now.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, she's too busy working.
Yeah, that would be a... What would that be? Hold
on. Would I be using my proficiency bonus because I'm still using my thieves tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Okay. In which case that is a modified 21.
Yeah, no, you successfully disable it.
Lovely.
Another successful trap down.
When Vim stands back up again, she gives a slight bow.
How's that investigation, Willow?
Am I rolling passive investigation or am I rolling actual investigation?
Actual investigation.
What am I investigating?
And actually, no, wait. Yeah, no.
Passive?
I'm sorry, it's late and I'm kind of getting tired.
That's okay.
It's going like
Yeah, just give me just give me an investigation roll.
Okay, that is.
You never roll passive. It's only reason why I'm having you do it is because right now you are the one with the highest investigation.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said you're the one with the highest investigation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a... Oh, that is a natural 1!
Oh no!
You place your hand on a wall.
No, I have never indicated I'm placing my hand, nor was I investigating in any way, shape, or form. I was standing behind Grash.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying you had placed your hand on a wall and
See,
here
it seems
click.
like you're directing my character to do things.
I'm the DM. I could do that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I could do small things. I can't sit there and make you go through an entire dungeon, but I can say that you put your hand on a wall. If you don't want me to, then I won't. Then I'll just then natural 1. You said right?
Yes, that would be a natural 1 on a roll I'm not sure why I'm making.
Not to wonder.
Again, you have the highest investigation. I'm just saying.
Natural wonder, everyone.
You think everything looks fine now?
I don't believe that even slightly is the case. Pessimism.
I'm just saying, you rolled a 1 and I'm giving you the result.
Can I roll
You
it?
cut out
Can
again.
I-
Say again.
I said you looked around and everything looked just dandy.
Well, see, this is the problem with forcing a roll. I cast sense traps.
Can I roll it
With anything
Can Mish talk or?
is a trap will be magically noticed.
What were you saying, Mish?
I'm sorry, there's some rats are stopping upstairs. Can I roll investigation?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You didn't say that you were going to cast that. I'm sorry, I can't allow
Because
it.
you forced the investigation roll.
I just said roll.
She just said roll a base regular investigation.
Never mind then.
I got a mod 21.
You see what looks like a pressure plate about 10 feet off, 10 feet 10 feet away after the log trap. You can either tell them or you can tell them to avoid it.
Guys, there's a pressure plate 10 feet after the log trap. Try your best to avoid it.
Hmm.
Alright.
That's fine. I'm sure I could attempt to disable that trap as well, but I don't want to push my luck too much with something that's easily avoidable.
Alright. Well, after you guys go that way, you guys can keep going if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, Vim's just going to step around the pressure plate and keep going.
Yeah. Melody's gonna go around it as well.
Vim is still going to be keeping an eye out for traps anyway, but yeah.
Alright, you guys keep going forward. You don't really see any more traps for a little ways. Let me see here. Willow, you see a tripwire right in front of him.
Like, would indicate said tripwire.
I mean, Vim was probably looking anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if she noticed too. But
Well, no, because Willow has the highest passive investigation.
Investigation is more like actively looking for stuff. You would probably use passive perception in this case.
True, yeah.
Oh.
But it still counts though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, even then she still has you guys beat.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
don't die.
We're just giving you a heads up.
Yeah. So you can either you can try to disable it if you want.
I'll go ahead and do that, yeah.
Alright, roll for me.
Yeah. Mod 20.
What is with you with the 20s?
Another dirty 20.
It wasn't a nat.
That's true. Still, that was like 20 nonetheless. No worries, I've been getting the same thing.
Yeah, no, you successfully disable it.
I just want to point out that like every time that Vem like crouches down to like disable a trap, she just like takes a brief moment to dust off her dress. She doesn't want to get her dress dirty.
Um,
But yeah, once that trap was disabled, she would indicate to the others that she was done and start walking again.
I want to cast less. What? Wait, let me check. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have this magic. I want to cast lesser restoration when we get out of the freaking thing, but I can't because I don't have a god or goddess to follow.
I
Damn
told
it.
you what you could do.
Why do you want to cast Lesser Restoration?
Nobody's been injured yet.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want them dress to get all dirty.
Lesser restoration.
Oh,
is-
you're talking prestidigitation.
Oh, you're thinking prestidigitation.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or
I
if
know
you-
it was one of the others.
Or if you want to get really technical, mending.
Okay.
Mending too, but like
Mending.
prestidigitation cleans things.
Yeah. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
you guys, after that last trap is disabled, you guys see a door.
Hmm.
And the door has a dragon's claw lifting what looks like a coin with the thumb and forefinger.
Oh.
Hmm.
You guys can, you all can roll a religion check if you want.
I want to say, yeah, can I roll religion?
That is modded 20 with my religion check.
Religion.
Modified
17 plus
21.
3.
Let me back up to my dice roller.
I got a 19.
Okay, so who?
Mod 15.
15. Grash, what did you get?
Modified 21.
And what did you get, Willow?
20.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to y'all. Well, some of you have probably only seen it in passing. You would recognize it as the holy symbol of the goddess of thieves, Sterling.
Oh. It takes like Vem a second of kind of just tilting her head and staring at the symbol, but then once she recognizes it, she just lifts her head and her eyes go wide-eyed and just starts grinning. Oh, I love this symbol.
You
That was a
found
very good rarity impression.
That wasn't even supposed to be rarity.
that sound very close to rarity.
Rarity doesn't have a southern accent. God damn it! I do know this symbol now that I've looked at it for a little bit.
You found something to your liking, then?
I actually have. This is the holy symbol of the goddess of freedom, fortune, and thieves, if I'm correct.
Oh.
I had only seen this symbol once before in a book. I wasn't sure if I would actually see it again. I probably should see if this door is locked though while I'm sitting here getting distracted.
That will be a wonderful idea.
Mm-hmm.
It is locked, but there doesn't seem to be a keyhole.
Oh, that is troubling.
Maybe this is a puzzle. Melody just points to the coin and the dragon statue thing.
It's a claw. What it is, it's a claw. It's a clawed hand, lifting a coin with the thumb and forefinger.
Yes. Well, if there isn't a keyhole, then the only way I could see to possibly open this is with some sort of puzzle, but I didn't see anything indicating anything like that when we were making our way over here. Them is starting to look around them again just to make sure she didn't miss something.
I will poke the door with the stick, keeping a respectable distance of the stick away.
Can I roll investigation?
You can.
Yeah, I'm rolling investigation too, real quick.
So will I.
Will Willow join in on this investigation?
I am
Well,
poking
Nat
the door with a
20!
stick.
Yay!
Poking the door with a stick. Okay.
Poking so with stick. I got a nat 20.
Knocking, to be sure.
Okay. Melody, you would get the sense that maybe there is a tribute to be paid.
I rolled an 8.
Aw.
That looks like a really nice picture of a claw, Grash.
Jesus!
It's a pretty, pretty claw.
It's so shiny.
Aww.
Oh,
This is a
you also notice possibly there's a glint of metal. There's a glint of metal possibly about 5 feet away from the door.
Oh. Then we'll go over and look at that.
Oh no, that was Melody.
Well, no, I rolled a nat. I rolled a nat 22.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we both seen the same thing.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you both see the same thing.
Yeah, them's going over to see what the glint of metal is. Just try to see if she can tell what it is.
Melody just looks at the coin like it's part of a tribute, though.
Next, let me see. As you get closer to the coin, you hear a slight rustling sound. It's only for a moment, but it kind of like it seems to scurry away.
Vim's like natural instinct, like her hand briefly like flinches towards the direction of the handle of her rapier for a second, but when she hears the sound getting further away, she stops.
But no, it appears to be a platinum coin.
Oh.
There's a platinum coin over here. I would assume we're supposed to. I would assume we're supposed to leave an offering of some sort to the goddess.
Yeah. It would assume so, because, like you said, Sterling is the goddess of, well, thieves and a whole bunch of other things.
Freedom, fortune, and thieves is what I did say.
Right.
I don't have any platinum on me. I can part with a gold piece, though. I'm sure that would suffice.
Wait, is the claw holding the platinum coin, or is it holding a gold coin?
Pretty shows platinum coin. Poke, poke.
Okay.
Oh shit! Wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Do the switcheroo.
Okay, I spaced, but yeah, no, Vim just picks up the platinum coin.
Do the
Because I'm
switcheroo.
sitting here thinking that I was supposed to put one of my coins where the platinum coin
no.
was.
There is a rule of finders keepers that Sterling often likes to invoke. You found the coin;
Okay, yeah,
it's yours.
Going to pick up the platinum coin. I don't know. I don't know if I saw where I'm supposed to put the coin though. I don't think I did.
You can roll another investigation.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll help.
Are you going to do the coin slot trick where you tie the a string to the platinum coin so when you put it in, you can immediately pull it out?
I wouldn't advise that.
Do the Mr. Crab thing.
Would a modified 15 do it?
Yeah, I'll allow it. You notice that you get the sense that you should place the coin in the center of the coin on the door.
Oh. Assuming Vim is actually able to reach it, she'll do that.
Yeah, no, it's eye level. It's not
Okay,
that
so-
far of a reach.
Okay, yeah, she'll just put the coin in that space then.
Yeah, no, the whole symbol begins to glow, and
Aggressive poking.
the symbol glows, and the coin seems to right into the stone. There's a soft rumble, and the door kind of just opens inward.
Insert Legend of Zelda door opening here.
Hiccup.
And there you go. You are now in the guild.
Wonderful.
Oh.
Vim would just start heading inside the door.
Melody follows.
Rash comes in next.
And behind them is Willow.
Yay!
Does anyone here know how to cast a light spell?
I have
Any-
dark vision.
I have dark vision as well.
I have dark vision.
I have to check if I have dark vision. I do not remember if I do.
Well, I'm a kissing. I automatically have dark vision.
No.
I have dark
Oh,
vision.
I have dark vision too. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need light.
All right. Well, you hear more skittering and scurrying. And a lot of
It's rat poop.
Hello?
about a dozen eyes. All look, a dozen red glowing eyes look in your direction.
Oh,
What a
Well
bloody.
oh no.
Does anyone have like a torch or something?
No. Oh, wait, do I? Let me check my equipment real quick. I forget.
I have a med kit. I have an herbalist kit. I have herbalism kit, medic kit, staff, weapon, quarter staff. Sorry, longbow.
I do.
I have a
If you have
single
adventure-
candle.
If you have the
all I have is
Explorer's
candle.
pack, it comes with it.
Hmm?
So I have a torch.
Okay. Grash, will you light the torch?
Well, I see a dozen red eyes at me, but since it's dark inside, I have dark vision. I'm able to see as if it was fully lit. That's what dark vision does.
Okay. You all see a horde of rats.
Lighting a bloody torch.
Okay.
I have one.
Light the bloody torches!
Gonna
I
light the
like-
torch.
I like mine too.
The moment the light floods the room, the rats scatter.
Oh dear.
Joys, bloody rats.
You then see several skeletons.
Like
Well then.
standing skeletons? or-
No. They're dead. They're clearly very dead.
And I'm going to casually walk over to the skeleton and stick the staff's end into the eye socket and move the skull elsewhere. Into a pile in the center of the room. away
Does-
from the body.
Well, they just said, skull for the skull god, blood for the blood god.
And sitting down, cutting a little bit of my own hand, and put it on the top skull. Blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne.
God fucking damn it.
Does anyone want to roll investigation to see how they probably died?
May as
I
well
will.
try.
Investigation. Shall
I will
roll?
likely be occupied by my tribute to the blood goddess.
I probably don't really find any. Vim probably doesn't really find anything. I only got a 10.
Investigation.
I got a mod 23.
However, once the tribute to the blood goddess is done, that is 18 plus 5, 23.
Okay.
I got a mod 23 as well.
As long as I don't have to touch it, it's fine.
No
Well,
worries.
it seems pretty apparent anyway, so even Prose's low roll would have gotten it for her. There's arrows sticking out of the leather armor. It would appear that before the temple was torn down, the guild hall was raided, meaning that they did already know of the place.
Oh.
That this probably is not going to be a good spot for any kind of meeting.
Well, so much for that plan.
Hmm.
Shame. I was actually really excited about finding this place.
Like, Melody didn't mention tribute.
True.
Oh.
Maybe once the town is liberated, I can see about repurposing this place. I really would love to come here.
We'll find it
Can
better
help
than
you
the
out?
last tenants.
Rash got a modified 13 on investigation to try to find anything of use.
Nothing really of any use. Unless you're good with blades, because there's a lot of short swords, rapiers, daggers. All of these are from the people that were killed.
Yeah, the guild.
I mean, I guess Vim wouldn't mind like grabbing an extra rapier and a couple of daggers.
I wouldn't mind collecting some few arrows, because I do have a longbow.
So, this may seem a bit utilitarian of me, but could we collect all of the weapons and armor that's not damaged and sell it back to the shop?
Yes.
I mean, I would like to keep one of the rapiers and maybe two of the daggers, but other than that, yes.
We should absolutely do that. I think I have a box on me.
I gathered Melody gathered some
Melody, what was your investigation again?
mod 23.
You look over. While you're doing your thing, you glance over at the bar and you see, something on the counter.
What is this? I wonder.
Are you gonna pick it up?
Yes, indeed.
It looks it's a amulet. It's an amulet that has the very symbol that you saw on the door.
It's an amulet that has what?
It's an amulet. It's an amulet with the same symbol that was on the door.
Okay.
It's almost like you're being asked to become a patron of Sterling.
What did you find, Melody?
I found an amulet with the same symbol.
Vim immediately runs over to look at it.
Melody gives the amulet to Vim. Here you go.
Oh, it's lovely. Even for how long it's probably been down here, it looks it looks wonderful even for how long it must have been down here.
That's because it's made out of pure platinum.
Jesus! exists.
I mean, I suppose something made entirely out of platinum wouldn't have worn too much with age. So we are very lucky to have stumbled upon this, I would say.
Yeah.
Seems Lady Fortune smiles upon you.
I call it Lady Luck.
Well, this is the symbol of the goddess of fortune, after all. Did you want to keep it, Melody? I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to take it from you like that. She's kind of holding onto the amulet kind of tight, though. She doesn't look like she wants to give it back.
No, you can have it, Vamp.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No. All right.
Vim, you're suddenly going to hear a voice in your head. You know, that's meant for her.
Oh dear. I'm sorry.
Well, she's not going to be much of a cleric without a god. And then just like that, the presence leaves.
Oh. Oh well. She just puts the amulet around Melody's neck. Apparently, this is meant for you. Disappointed Vim noises.
Vim, your pocket suddenly seems slightly heavier.
Oh. She would look in her pocket. What does she say?
50 gold pieces.
Well then.
Oh, you fucking wank. Seeking the valuables, you bloody bastard.
You find a door that looks very important.
Does it look like a valuable door?
Yes. It's wood.
Like I could sell the door.
No, there is something behind the door.
Don't give a shit. Back to searching for valuables.
Like there is something valuable behind the door.
Is it locked?
Yes, but there's a door, so fuck that. Hey, there's a door.
Well,
Back to searching for valuables.
Yes, because it's not like you have a rogue with you or anything.
That's why I indicated the door.
Vim goes to look at the door. Is it locked?
Yes.
Okay, she's gonna unlock it, or attempt to unlock it.
You can try.
I will try.
No, just looks at Vem, just like looks at the amulet back to Vem, like, seemed like that you really wanted his amulet, though.
I did, but I have to assume that it was the goddess herself that told me that it is for you.
Or you're just crazy.
Still, though, I still wouldn't mind, like, any other options of gods before I actually choose a god or goddess.
Have I told you about the gloriousness of the blood goddess?
Oh my god. Modified 20 to unlock the door.
Dirty 20.
20 to unlock the door.
Down once we're out.
Making out a running.
I'll tell you all about the blood goddess.
Is her name Cornea?
Stop.
Barring any more interruptions.
Please.
Sorry.
It takes you a couple tries, but you do hear the click from the door.
There we go, finally. She starts to open it. Opens the door and just takes a peek inside. What does she see in there?
You found the treasure room.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh.
It seems mostly like it's been. It seems like most of the tributes were taken and were taken, even though the door was still locked somehow. But there is still several there are still several other items there that are of value that you can take to sell.
Vim just calls to the others. Calls to the others, letting them know that she found more stuff inside the room.
Grash, let's bring the box.
Melody
We
just
Grash is
can-
holding a giant box on one shoulder.
Melody just walks and says, "What did you find?"
Onward unto
I
fortune.
was about to start. I was about to start sorting through what's here now, though. If there's too much to look through at the current moment, we could always sort through it all later.
True.
What?
I would you end up hearing the skittering from the room in the other room again.
Oh.
Hmm? Grash hovers his hand over his hip.
I'm going to go back in the room with the torch.
And again, the skittering goes away.
All right.
You'll quit your shit. I'm trying to get 30 gold. It's not that much, for God's
You
sake.
We might get more than 30 gold, Willow.
She is absolutely yelling at the rats.
Well, if you have animal, if you can understand
I-
animal druid, you can probably hear what they're saying.
No, I'm a kitten. Never mind. I have animal handling, but like, I'm not a druid.
I do not have that spell, actually.
Uh,
Well then.
you see a couple of very nice pieces of a couple of nice full suits of armor. A small chest, about maybe 2 feet by about 2 feet long and about 1.5 feet tall. But you could pick it up.
Wait. I checked out. You said something that's 2 feet long.
A
and
chest.
It's a chest.
Oh, the chest. Okay. Should I attempt to open this here, or would it be better if we just brought it with us and I opened it after?
Let's just bring it with us just in case.
Kick it, see
Okay.
if it opens.
I would like to not do that. Especially after that story you told about a rogue getting acid in their face after attempting to open a chest. I would like to not do that. Thank you.
Well, check for
very
bloody
much.
traps first.
It's not trapped.
It is not trapped.
We can take it with us.
Hold on,
Okay.
we gotta do a mimic check.
It's not a mimic.
That's
It's not.
why I
not
said
a
to
mimic.
kick it.
It's not a mimic. We're safe.
Okay.
Well, we have to tell a joke first. If it laughs,
No,
it's a mimic.
no.
It's
No
Oh,
mimic.
wait, I've got this. I've got this.
No. Melody is now concerned. Melody is now worried. Can we just take the chest with us?
Grash picks up the chest.
Thank you very much, Grash.
But
Uh.
if Grash picks up the chest, but
Grash?
if he feels something licking on the back of his head, he will slay this mimic.
It's not a mimic.
It's not a mimic. It's just a chest.
All right. Let me check.
Oh my
wife
god.
is really mad
So
at the
Grash
fact.
turns the chest
I-
and has it face Willow 10 feet away.
Okay. My wife is really mad at the fact that I don't have a sense of direction. So I got my stuff up and right.
Who's the closest to the door at the moment?
I would think Vim and or Grash because Vim
Yeah.
is starting to leave.
Okay.
Oh, actually, freaking. Didn't Willow go back out into the other
Willow's-
room with her torch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Willow's not in the room, so she's not gonna be. Alright. Willow, you start hearing whispers, like like that.
All right, you little. Okay,
You
I
partial
don't know
to-
who is whispering at me, but can you fuck off, please? We're busy. Go away.
She went a little cockney there for a second.
As you're saying that, green necromantic energy begins slithering from the stone walls and creeping down towards the skeletons.
Oi, that is a tribute. Do not mess with the skulls.
It's not caring. It's heading there. The necromantic energy is heading towards the skeletons as you speak.
Oh, you want to play this game, eh?
So Grash is
Yes, because I want you out of there.
Let's just go, please.
Aye, let's go before I have to whip me a skeleton right in the bone.
Let's go. Let's
I
go.
will behead every single one of you this rapier if you don't get out that door.
Melody's already out the door.
Grash is hot on her heels.
Yeah.
I am picking up at very least the skull. I put the blood print on because that is for the damn skull throne.
Clone is most pleased.
All right, which one of you is leaving first? Which one of you is leaving last?
It's like
I
was-
think Mel was first,
Yeah.
then Grash, then Vim, and then frickin' Willow.
Willow.
Willow, make a dex save.
Oh shit.
21.
You
Nat
through
20.
some through some preternatural instinct, you duck just as an arrow goes right past you. If you look behind, you see one of the skeletons is holding a bow and arrow, ready, aiming for you all again. You can either run or attack and roll initiative.
Nope. Running.
We're getting the fuck out.
We're running.
Are you going to close the door behind you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Willow in there.
No, Willow must come with us. Even.
Well, you're all out, man. You're all out of the room, and you close the door. So.
Okay.
But still, though, I still like to have more options before picking a god or goddess. No.
Well, we
Well,
can
how
always go around and look.
I'm sure we can find some information about more deities somewhere.
I want to have options.
That's
No, I'm telling this a Quill. I'm telling this out of character to Quill.
We will find you something. And if
I
not,
love
we
how
can
she-
sell the amulet.
I love how she's pushing Sterling onto mission, yet my character's the one who actually wanted to be a follower of Sterling in the first fucking place.
Exactly. So I found that funny. And yeah, Vim was clinging on the amulet like really tightly. Still like.
Meh. Okay.
I think what Quill's trying to say is that there may come a point where you need to have healing powers.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Alright,
then.
we will look into more gods and goddesses for you when we have the
When we get the
time to do so, Melody. I promise.
Alright. Bless you.
Oh dear.
They're
Now-
trying. The skeletons are trying to break down the door. You might want to run.
We've been walking and / running away this entire time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as we are exiting, really quick spike growth on the ground. Just to make it
Yeah.
a little bit harder for them to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yep.
You're welcome.
And if they seem to be more persistent,
And he pats his hip.
I can always deter them.
But you probably shouldn't pat your hip. You've got 2 boxes, one on each shoulder.
That's
Oh well,
not-
he kind of like does this
He's
like a little hip
carrying
shake.
chest.
The hip wiggle.
Yeah, a hip wiggle to show hey he has a thing on his hip.
I'm sure we'll be out of here before you have to use it, but if that is not the case, then yes.
All right. So, are you guys heading back to the inn?
Go
Yes.
either back to the inn or to the place with the bird. He seemed rather amenable to purchasing items.
Well, it's dark. It's dark right now. I would probably suggest going back to the tavern because the guards are starting to slowly get back.
Good. It's fine.
Okay, but just for future reference, they did say he works it at night, so possible. She's
Yeah.
walking
Well,
while
Vim
she's talking.
Yeah.
Well, Vim wanted to look through everything that they got to make sure there isn't anything that she wants to keep first.
If you want, you guys can do that in the morning
Okay.
Yeah.
because I'm sure you guys are pretty tired after the little escapade.
Probably. A little bit.
And when we get to the door of the inn, good luck to all of you. I will return in the morning.
Fair enough.
So are you guys going to bed or?
Yeah.
Melody just looks at the amulet for a bit, and you kind of just tuck it in her shirt, and then she just went off the bed.
Going anywhere that is not inside of a building to sleep there.
As you guys enter the inn, you see Turmeric. Oh, how'd it go?
Well, we did find the Thieves Guild, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't think it's quite suitable for what we needed it for.
We found a lot of interesting things, though.
Well, you all look pretty tired. Go to bed, and I will. And you guys can tell me about it in the morning. I have to get Ochre here to bed.
Oh, I was looking. He did tell me about this wonderful soup you have here. I was looking forward to trying that, but I suppose I can wait until tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
I can wait.
So Grash will carry the two chests up to their room and then immediately head back down to the bar and
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Alright.
We're here.
So,
What's Scratch doing again? Repeat it, because I don't think she heard you.
yeah.
Grash will carry the two chests up to their room and then immediately walk back down to the bar and sleep in.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that'll leave Vim and Melody to share the room then.
Yeah.
Alright. So as you two go into the go to sleep, both of you fall asleep with relative ease. Melody,
Yes.
you're walking around in what seems to be a rather nice looking guild hall. And sitting there is what looks to be a silver half dragon in relatively nice looking rogue barding and with relatively nice looking warlock barding. Armor that you would see on a warlock with a cloak made of crow feathers.
Melody just like walks up to the silver dragon. Excuse me.
Oh, terribly sorry about you. She points to the amulet on your chest that you're wearing. But a cleric isn't really much of a cleric without a god giving them powers. I'm sure you understand.
No, it's completely understandable. No worries, yeah.
I know that you want to choose, and that's perfectly all right. But at least for a little while, let me give you all a hand.
Okay.
If I wasn't already told not to go over there, I would have taken care of the whole thing myself. But then again, if I'd turn around and do everything for you mortals. You'd become a little entitled, wouldn't you?
A little bit.
I have the utmost faith that you and your friends can fix this issue. Plus, so long as you're my cleric, you'll have a little bit of boost in luck.
And thank you for the amulet. It's.
Just come see me again when you've made a final choice.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go see your other friend. She does seem to be a little dejected. Poor dear.
Yeah.
Well, still, and she gets up and hands her a drink. Enjoy the guild hall. At least how it used to look. It looks really nice. Like, the bar itself.
Melody literally just looking around like, oh my gosh.
The guild hall is just absolutely gorgeous. There's a beautiful gold fire. Just the firelight just casts off a beautiful golden light off of all of the walls. The bar itself is a perfectly polished wood. The chairs that are sitting in there are all made of wrought iron with a cushion for the seat. You can tell that this thieves guild was pretty well off.
My, this Steve Gills is really well done for himself. And might actually will take it to you.
This used to be my most prosperous guild hall. And then the mayor came to town.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened?
Simple. He infiltrated by pretending to be a thief, and once he had what he needed from whatever else he did, I don't know if he made a dark deal or whatever, or what have you. I was a touch preoccupied over the last decade or so. He attacked the guild hall. I come back after my little sojourn, and everybody was dead. And my temple, of course, in ruins. Not exactly the happiest god. I'm not exactly the happiest goddess right now. I've done everything I could to try to curse his luck.
It's after what the skill right now is phenomenal. Again, I don't blame you. I will be distraught if everything been destroyed as well.
I was more distraught over the loss of the followers. A temple can be rebuilt. A guild hall can be remade. But she snaps, and it's back to how you saw it. Now with just shambling zombies, shambling skeletons. You can't really bring back the dead.
We can't, but we can rebuild the place back up. That's the least we can do.
Well, I'll leave you all to it.
Oh, I never got your name.
Tim told you.
No, but I want to hear from the actual goddess herself.
And she stands and just gives a flourishing bow. And Sterling, the goddess of freedom, fortune, thieves, motherhood, and hope. I've got my fingers in quite a few pies.
Jesus, that is so. Woo!
Motherhood?
Oh dear, if I told you every child I've had so far, we'd be here all night, but I really must go.
Sorry. Well, alright then. It was lovely meeting you, Sterling.
You have a wonderful night. Please, enjoy yourself. And as long as you're and like I said, as long as you're my cleric, you're going to have a slight boost in luck.
Okay.
Well, until then, ta! And she just kind of like shimmers off. She just kind of dissolves into a platinum dust.
Pretty.
Sterling is the daughter of Bahamut, isn't she?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Bro.
okay. Vim. Where are you in your little underwater kingdom dream right now?
Under
Okay,
the
there we go.
sea.
Everything got died for me for a second. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
Where are you in your dream right now?
You cut out a little bit. Where am I? Where?
Where are you in your dream?
Oh, Vim is probably dreaming of she's probably just left the she's probably just left the palace. She's probably just left the underwater palace that she used to live in because she liked to kind of explore a lot. So she's probably just swimming out of the city, probably just looking for something to do. She likes she likes looking in caves and shipwrecks and stuff like that, so she's probably doing that.
This is a rather nice place.
Oh my goodness. She starts looking around her.
She'd see this is silver. She'd see Sterling.
Oh yeah. You startled me for a moment.
I do hope you don't feel like I'm oh dear, what's the word? Snubbing.
Uh, I'm doing my best not to. I understand the situation.
I'm not, though. Far, far from it. It's just I noticed that your cleric, well, isn't much of a cleric without a god.
Yeah, that's that's why I tried to. That's that's why I did my best to not really get in too much of a fuss about it, because she does need somebody to follow at the moment, at least. I do plan to help her look into other deities when we have the time to.
And that's why I'm here. When she makes a final decision, that amulet's yours.
Oh.
It's just, for the moment, it might be best for her to have it.
I understand. It's, well, she she does certainly need it at the moment. It's just even for the passing bit of information I did know about you, especially given the predicament I'm in at the moment, I
You
did
mean...
connect to you very much.
Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, you're a rogue for a reason.
True, and if if uh, if I may be so if I may be so bold as to tell you about this, well, the the domain of freedom at the current moment is especially important to me, given, well,
Hmm?
she points in the direction of the underwater kingdom that she was just swimming away from. That that's what my home used to look like anyway before.
Before it
My
was leveled, in a sense.
yes,
I know
I,
all about it.
I don't even know where my parents or my brothers and sisters are right now. I want to free them more than anything in the world.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for them. I have plenty of contacts everywhere. Most of my priests, that sort of thing. I'm sure that one of them will see somebody. And
I hope so.
I can't exactly continue doing this sort of thing. I can help you by pointing you in the right direction every now and then. Not so much divine intervention, but what's the term?
I think divine guidance would be a little bit of a better term.
Yes, that's it. Divine guidance.
If I'm maybe so bold as to ask if you, by any chance, can give me some divine guidance in the direction of the pieces of my parasol, I would be greatly appreciative. It's an heirloom in my family, and probably finding it and putting the remaining pieces back together is the only way I'm gonna be able to get my family back.
That one is a bit harder.
If not, then I do understand. I'm going to search anyway.
Unfortunately for the moment, I can't help you with that.
That's fine.
But if I hear anything, I'll send one of my priests your way.
Thank you kindly, ma'am.
Of course. Now, why don't you go? She points over to a sunken ship. I do believe they have something pretty useful over there.
Oh.
I really must be going.
I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time this evening.
Oh, no, not at all. Well, to be fair, I'm really not supposed to be here. Well, you know how I am with rules.
I'm much the same way, believe me, I understand.
Oh, birds of a feather, you and I.
Technically speaking, if I was home, I wouldn't even be allowed to be out here.
Oh, I could relate with my father. You know, the one that Amber follows.
Oh.
Do tell Amber that my father sends his best.
I will happily do so.
All right, well, you go.
Oh well. She does the motion of a curtsy, even though she's basically in mermaid form right now. So all she has is a tail. But yeah, she does that, and then she starts swimming over to the sunken ship.
And Sterling leaves, and you all sleep soundly. Some of you are dreaming of happier times, others not so much. And this is where we're going to have to leave it off because I'm falling asleep, dude.
If I look back at the time, like, Jesus Christ, it's like 12:30.
I know.
It's like 10:20 for me. I'm good.
I know.
There's nothing unhappy about it. Thank you very much.
Alright, so that was the first one. That is the first session of our game. Oh god, I know I did such a horrible job.
No, you did a wonderful job.
Don't patronize me.
Your first time.
No, seriously.
Everyone has bumpy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, for a first time DM, you were pretty good.
Don't you all patronize me.
At what point in this game have I not given you shit?
You're always giving us shit anyway, so that's just part of the course.
Yeah, I do have, like, in the back of my mind, it's like, alright, Sterling, for the time being, yes, Sterling, but again, I want to find more god or goddesses just to be sure, and then like
Blood for the blood god.
Oh my god.
Marco, stop forcing Marco on me.
I'm not forcing, I'm suggesting blood god.
I see your
Doesn't even
suggestion
identify.
Alright, so we're going to be doing these every 2 weeks. And for the time being,